Now, this is a story that my grandmother told me, told me the Ananzi stories all the time when I was little. And I have the book, this is a Ananzi book, but she always told them from memory. She never read them from a book. So that's what I'm gonna do. But this is the book. They have a lot of different Ananzi books. So I'm gonna start off, all right? All right. Once upon a time, there's a little boy named? Okay, see, that's the way it starts. So they know, but when I say once upon a time, there's a little boy named, then you have to say Ananzi. Okay? All right, once upon a time, there's a little boy named? Ananzi. Okay, let's try one more time. One more time, because this has to be like, to feel your enthusiasm. Okay? All right, Monty? Okay, all right. Once upon a time, there's a little boy named? Ananzi. Yeah, now Ananzi was not big man. He was little, but he had big pride. And he wanted everybody to think of him really highly. He wanted people to say, hey, there's Ananzi. We really like Ananzi. Ananzi's so big, Ananzi's so strong. But he wasn't really big, and he wasn't really strong. So he's always trying to figure out ways to impress people. So one day, Ananzi's mother-in-law was lost. So out of respect for his mother-in-law, Ananzi say, I'm not going to eat for 8 days. Because he wanted everybody to be impressed that out of respect for his mother-in-law being lost, he wasn't going to eat for 8 days. So on the first day, everybody would say, Ananzi, you have to eat. Come on, we're going to make lots of food for you. You have to eat something. Ananzi would say, what kind of a man eat when his mother-in-law lost? Me eat on the 8th day. So then the second day went. Ananzi still don't eat nothing. Everybody eating. They say, eat, Ananzi, you have to eat something. Ananzi say, what kind of a man eat when his mother-in-law lost? Me eat on the 8th day. So now the third day, Ananzi was starting to get a little hungry. So his belly was kind of talking to him, and he would hear it rumble, and his belly would say, Ananzi. But Ananzi still wanted to impress everybody, so he didn't want to eat. So Ananzi walking down the street, and he hear a big party, and he said, what did I smell? And he look over there, and everybody partying. Everybody playing music, they cooking food, they cooking plantain and all of his favorite jerk chicken. He smelled the cocoa bread in the air. And Ananzi said, oh, I might have to eat something. And everybody come and they look at him and they partying and they listening to music. They say, hey, Ananzi, we all partying, come eat. But Ananzi have big pride. So he say, what kind of a man eat when his mother-in-law lost? Me eat on the 8th day. They say, okay, Ananzi, but this jerk chicken is good. You're missing out, man. You don't know. So then the 4th day, he don't eat anything. The 5th day, he don't eat anything. Now by the 6th and 7th day, Ananzi ain't eat for a whole week. So he is really hungry. So Ananzi walking around trying to think of things to get his mind off of food. And him smell a pie. You see, down the road, lady was cooking 3 pies. 3 of his favorite pies too. She cooked sweet potato pie, she cooked apple pie, and she cooked pecan pie. So she put it on the ledge to let it cool off. Well, Ananzi walking down the road and then smell the pies. And then Belly's so hungry, he ain't eating for a whole week. So Ananzi go over to the pies. He look around to see if anybody looking. He don't see nobody. So he run and grab the pie and he try to eat it real quick. But then some people come down the road and they all like 10, 15 people. The same people who he been telling that he not gonna eat out of respect for his mother-in-law. So they come down and Ananzi see them coming. So he like, oh no, what I'm gonna do? So he put all the food in his hat and he put it on his head. And he act like nothing's happening. Hello. How's everybody doing? So the food is burning his head. It's coming down his face. And everybody's saying, Ananzi, you still no eat? Ananzi said, no, Like, don't eat nothing out of respect for my mother-in-law that's still lost. And him gritting his teeth because the pie is burning his head. So then after a while, it get to him, and he take it off. He said, and have to run into the river and put his head in the river. And everybody said, Ananzi, you've been eating. And so Ananzi, big embarrassed from everybody. And all he had to do from the beginning is tell the truth. And he wouldn't have been embarrassed. So now everybody look at Ananzi as a fake and a liar. So what's the moral of the story? Somebody tell me the moral. I know you know, Malcolm. I want somebody to tell me the moral of the story.
Not me.
Yeah, all right, not you. What's the moral of the story? Think about it. Okay, not you either. What's your name? Morgan. All right, what do you think the moral of the story is?
Tell the truth, don't lie.
There you go. Very easy. See, each Ananzi story has a moral. So every time my grandmother would tell me the stories, at the end, she would say, now what's the moral of the story? And I'd have to figure out what it was, and then she let me go to sleep. So that's what I do with my son, Malcolm and Monty.